Hello and welcome to Pearlie's Design Shop. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So today I have another journal make to show you. I had made this journal recently and recorded some of the process. So I thought I'd bring you along and let you see how that all came together. And at the end of this video, I'll do a flip through of the journal. And here I'm just gathering some textiles together that I thought would work well. Scraps of fabric, some threads, and some ink dyed cheesecloth and flowers. Just bits and pieces that I may or may not use in the journal. And these are the papers I decided to use for the journal. Kept it to a minimum. I didn't use a huge selection of papers. Some of these are actually file folders and hanging file folders that I inked. And there's a pocket I'm going to attach. We'll see that later in the video. These are some of the digitals out of my Etsy shop, and I'm going to stitch around those. So they've just been glued onto the pages, tacked on really with a bit of glue, and then I'm going to go to the sewing machine here shortly and stitch around those and show you what a difference it makes. It adds a bit of interest to the pages. And here are the pages after I've added the stitching. I personally think it adds a little extra interest to the pages. And this page I made by stitching a couple of scraps together, and I'll show you how I did that a little later in the video. Now here I'm just creating a pocket by stapling two scraps together. I'm going to glue around on three sides, and I'm going to leave the top open, and that will create a pocket. These file folders were brown on one side and green on the other, so I'm just using the contrasting color. And then again here, I'm going to glue down the green side so that the brown side is showing against the green page. So again, I've just stapled those scraps together and then glued it down to create a couple more pockets. This is the page I made by sewing two scraps together. And I glued down the flap. And then I folded the paper to create a journal page. And I'm making another pocket, just a small one, gluing down the sides and the bottom. I had stitched on a stamped piece of paper onto a scrap. That's all that is. And it makes a nice little pocket. So my pages are ready to be sewn onto a piece of fabric. And this will create the signature block. And here they are all sewn in. And I'm ready to move on to making the covers. So I'm starting with the front cover, and I'm going to cover that with a piece of fabric. And I like this piece of ink dyed paper. It's got a nice distressed, grungy edge, torn edge to it. And I'm just auditioning this cheesecloth and the flowers. I kind of like the look of that, so I go ahead and glue that down. And that's going to be the front cover, more or less. And let's have a look at the finished journal. There's that front cover. I did add some more fabric with a layer of cheesecloth over it. On the front cover there, it wraps around the spine and onto the back cover. The back cover has also got a layer of fabric on it and some dyed flowers and messy threads. So I hope this gave you some ideas or inspired you. I thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.